Hi, it's Amethyst. Welcome to Sage Circle. How y'all doing? It's a bit late at night here, not too late where I am, but a little bit. It's getting on, maybe 10 o'clock or something. But I'm just doing a 2-pile pick a card ensemble this evening. I was going to do 3, but Spirit said no, 2's enough. And it's actually a messages to do with the full moon that's about to come on the 27th. Well, it is in my country on the 27th. And it's called the full snow moon. It's called the snow moon, or I know it's the hunger moon, but it's also got another name. I'm pretty sure it's the storm moon or something. So basically, I'll just give you a few messages about what this moon specifically represents for this year, this time. And then I'll get you guys to pick a pile and go from there with channeled messages and stuff. So cool. So basically, this particular moon is about a re-emergence. It's about coming through the darkness. It's about lighting one's own fire to allow inner growth, which will help with the outer growth. And basically, it's a sign that darkness is ending. Now, I do know I've got a lot of mates on Facebook and stuff, and I do know that different places around the world where it's winter, it's been quite tumultuous. It's been quite drawn out. It's been excessively cold with the snow and stuff that you guys have gone through. And I have heard and seen that people have had enough now. So basically, this is what it's about. Darkness is ending. There's going to be that advancement, and there's a soul advancement. There's an advancement of the Holy Trinity. I call the Holy Trinity, to me, the Holy Trinity is your body, mind, and soul as a collective. It's all joined as one, right? So there'll be some advancement and some healing from that to help with your growth. And it's all about the small, consistent steps or changes to usher in the long-term prosperity. So it's like planting your seeds to have them all fertile for the spring, for example, right? It's a massive shift in energy at the moment, and it's about breathing in, breathing out. It's about the new breath. It's also it's time to earth, guys. It's like, get outside. Yeah, it might be snowing and stuff, but it's still about earthing. If you can't go outside and earth, bring the earth inside, you know what I mean? Like, bring some branches in, dead branches off a tree or something, and just have that in your house, or do something that you're aware of that you can do to ground and earth. It's really important at this time. And there might be a lot of restlessness going on. People could be feeling really restless, literally. And hungry for movement, just for change, to step out of that darkness, because the cycle's ending now. So it's about your preparation. It's about preparing for the next couple of weeks ahead. This moon is a really good moon to actually do prosperity spells and to help with like businesses and even hair growth. Normally when you do a spell, for example, for hair growth or that type of a growth, you wouldn't do it on a full moon. You'll do it on a new moon. And then over the period of the month, you'd work on that magic, for example. But Spirit is saying that you can actually do those things now, because you've already planted the seeds, or you're restless, as I've read out the information. It's time to move forward and get what you need to do for yourself to actually get that prosperity long-term down the line. We're talking long-term goals here. And I think a lot of people are talking long-term goals here. We're not talking 2 or 3 weeks from now, you know. So cool. So I have... I've already pre-shuffled. You know, it took me probably longer to pre-shuffle all the decks that I pulled out for tonight than what it will to actually do these readings. Honestly, I just shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. It was intense. I was almost in a trance-like state, which is not unusual since I'm studying shamanism. So I have the pre-shuffled stuff here, and I've also got a couple of little decks off to the side. Once I get through a pile, I'll pull some of those out as well. Enough talking shit. I'm just going to have a drink of water. Actually, somebody messaged me and said to me, are they books in the background? Is that a real life bookshelf? And I'll just show you. It is one of my selection of book areas. There's some spell books there. There's not as many as there should be there. I've got more. Yeah, and it just goes down, down, down. Different layers, different things. Cool, hey. Cool. All right, so first pile. Yay. And that one says ring for love. That usually belongs on my ancestral altar. I have a big upward standing sort of metal industrial style metal shelving unit that I bought. It's only about less than a meter wide, but it's about maybe 5 foot tall. And that is my ancestral altar. And I've got a big, beautiful dried branch coming up one side of it that I've affixed to it, and it's sort of coming across the front of it up the top. And that's off there. So that one says ring for love. And then we've got pile 2 with this beautiful stone, this beautiful rock with like little crystal shards all the way through it. My son has given me this. My son has given me, hundreds of rocks in his little life. You know, little life is nearly 15, that son. But yeah, so, expelling energy. Again, what did it say? What have I written down? I just channel messages and it's like, oh shit, now I need to remember what I've said. That's why I jot notes down. Yeah, it's the new breath. Energy in, energy out. So let's get into this. Pile 1, pile 2. I'm going to move pile 2 out of the way. Oops, and we're going to get into pile 1's reading. Like I said, I don't use tarot, guys, and a channel. Please like, share, subscribe. I'd love it. I really like knowing people's feedback about things. I do get a fair bit of good feedback. I'm on more than one social media platform. So yeah, cool. Here we go. We're actually going to start from the back today and then work forward to the front. So I'm actually going to turn that around. So the first card for pile 1 says, look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius, right? So what Spirit's saying is, obviously, look at the full picture. There might be something you're missing, or there's something you're not necessarily over missing, but you've overlooked. There's a big difference from overlooking and missing something. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Now, you could be a Sagittarius. You might be involved in a situation around that time of year with Sagittarius that's happened and it's still continuing on. You could be inquiring about a Sagittarius, or you might have absolutely nothing to do with a Sagittarius, but this is just a confirmation that you need to look at the bigger picture. I'm actually hearing whispers. I can hear people whispering and talking. There is definitely new movement. There is definitely new stuff being ushered in. Now, that could be your spirit team, I think, that are having whispers and going, okay, what step are they going to take next? We've planted all the seeds. We've done the best that we can. We've given out the messages. We've given out the subliminal messages, etc. What are they going to do? So look at the bigger picture. The next card says, inner temple, devotion, tune in to the portal of your heart. Wow. This is so insane because, as you guys know, a massive portal's just shut, right? And now it's saying tune into the portal of your heart. That is beautiful. Now, there's a double thing going on here. She's on either side of the card, and I always think of this card as actually your shadow, or what you really don't want to bring to the surface opposed to what you're allowing to come to the surface. And it says inner temple. And shout out to my girlfriend Melly. If you watch this, Mel's, were you not talking to me? My mate and I were on the phone last night for fucking 5 hours or something. Honestly, we got off the phone at 2:30 this morning. So, and she was talking, harping on, blah, 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 about inner temple. There it is. It's come out. So, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Everybody's done a lot of work. There's been a massive shift. There's been a massive amount of change and energetic shift with a collective flow of energy through the realms, not just the actual earth realm or the earth energy or the 3D as people like to call it, but in other layers and areas as well. And people don't seem to remember that, like, as a shamanism student, as somebody that comes from a long line of this sorts of stuff, there's more than just the upper worlds, there's the lower worlds as well. So we always talk about raising up and going up and going up. Some people, their inner temple or some of the things that they're working on is from a lower world or a lower energy, and it doesn't mean that that energy isn't as valid as people always going on about being high up at a different vibration. So just remember that it's your personal journey, but you do need to bring to the surface or admit to yourself, like, she's not even facing herself, okay? You need to spin that around and go, right, this is what I've got going on here. Practically, this is a star, but it could be the moon, right? Next one says, Amara, where are you being called to journey to? Wow. So let me just listen to Spirit. Yeah, Spirit's saying that there's been a fair bit of emotion for some of you guys watching this in the last couple of months. There's been a bit of emotional baggage or a bit of emotional release. Oh, see, excuse me, right? There's been an emotional release. That was an expel of energy, and I did say this moon is about the new breath. So I actually feel a bit heavy in my chest, not heavy as in a bad way, but I just feel like a bit tired and a bit worn out in that area of my chest, and I'm not. So that could be a message for you. That could be a physical symptom, but there's still a bit of water going on here. But a couple of months ago, for example, let's just say hypothetically, whoever you are, you were standing on the edge of this water going, wow, I've really got to get through this. I've got to push through this. Is this going to end? Why am I feeling this way? I'm needing answers. I've got to blah, 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 blah. And now come fast forward to where we are in this exact present moment, just surrounding this particular moon. And you've actually made that step. You're already in the water. Yeah, you have a ways to go. Who cares, right? You've done it. You've actually propelled yourself and got yourself where you need to be. And Spirit's saying that obviously there's only one person in this card. And Spirit is saying that this might be a bit of a solo journey or a solo expedition with what you're traveling through in yourself. Again, your inner temple. And that's a bit of a common thread coming up lately. Next card, passion. Beautiful. Now, straight away, there's like a princess on this card, and she's reading a book to an elderly person, right? So what, again, there are two women on this card, and they are both facing each other this time. So it could be like, you know, somebody could be reflecting on what they were like in their youth, or somebody could be trying to make contact with spirit, or this could look like people that you're aware of, or what, or that you know, or it could be nothing other than there's a passion for life, a passion for the new dawn, a passion for the new beginning. You know, a passion for the shift of energy that's coming. You could be passionate about preparing for change, or you've made that you've prepared, you know, your hunger for movement, basically. And remember, it's the small little simple steps that you could work in the aged care industry, or you could be a carer, or you could feel like you need to be cared for. Either way, this card is saying to you, have that ability with passion. Come from that space with passion. There's nothing wrong with being in a different space than other people. It doesn't mean you're wrong in any sense of the word. It just means that you have a different outlook with your passion, right? Facade. Oh God, what is wrong with me? Jesus, facade, right? So basically there's things that you're unaware of. Now, again, two people in this card, and this time it's a man and a child, right? So basically Spirit is saying inner child work. There's no doubt about that. We've gone from one extreme to the other. We've got from two women that won't even face themselves, but it's the same person, right? Two different things going on in their lives, to the woman who's finally been brave enough to take those steps, regardless of your gender. We don't judge here. I don't care who you are, where you are, what your background is. You are who you are, and you are loved. Right? Then we've got females, two ladies here, and then we've gone over to this. So basically there's a regression. Maybe we're going backwards here. Maybe we're going back, traveling through, and I did say lower world. So maybe you're doing some really deep-seated trauma and healing, or you're actually doing it on a higher vibration. You might be doing it in the 4D, the 5D, and you're feeling symptomatic in the 3D right now. But Spirit is saying is please remain passionate in your endeavors. Please don't give up on what you need to do. There's a lot of confusion that's going on around other people, because they're so chewing at the bit to get out and do things and have change, and it's almost like I need to have this and this done by March, for example, because if I don't, I feel like I haven't got my year started. Don't worry about it. All that energy left over from the residue to do with the bulk of COVID energetically has gone now. It's been shifted, and that's what Archangel Raphael has done in this last wave of healing for humanity. But having said that, there are still a lot of places in the world that are suffering severely from the COVID stuff, right? Anyway, so please don't think that you have to rush into what you need to try and do just so you could get a result now. As the other information said, particularly about snow moon, it is about the little steps that you're taking. It's the small, consistent steps for change, or the small, consistent changes to usher in the long-term prosperity and the shift in energy. But what are you hiding onto? What are you holding onto? And it's like the other card that I pulled out with the two women mirroring each other, but they're back to back. What is it that you're not bringing to the surface, or you're not willing to admit or let go of, or whatever? Only you will know that. Well, I'd probably know that too if I tapped in for it, but still. So next card is Soulmate. Wow. This particular deck, this higher love deck, let me grab it. This deck here, I usually tell the story whenever I pull this deck out, right? I bought this deck and I waited for my son to come home from school, because he was like, don't open that deck if it comes, I want to have a look. Anyway, so we've opened it up, and there was 7 or 6, I can't remember. I'd have to go through it. 6 or 7 soulmate cards in this exact deck. I'm not joking. Let me have a look here. There's another one. Sorry, guys. Yeah, anyway, I'll just keep talking. But yeah, so what Spirit is saying is that you are your own soulmate. You need to usher in and change and alter and move in that new energy for yourself, because you are the only person that gets to determine how your soul vibrates and how it doesn't. And, you know, human condition can be absolute shit at times, and we all know that. But what Spirit is saying is that you are your mate. You are your soul. You are yourself. If you're feeling lonely, you can't just go and hook up with somebody or go and start dating a particular person or people in general purely just so you can have that connection feeling like you're making you a bit whole. It won't make you whole. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All say soulmate, right? So what Spirit's saying is that you are the mate to your soul. Look after your soul. Love yourself better. Clear up karmic wounds. Fix up what you're supposed to be doing, and really make sure you shift in the next couple months that actual trauma or heartache or stuff that's a little bit deeper that you're not ready to tackle yet, okay? You need to, because your years is going to be fabulous, right? The next card says take a stand. Yay. Take a stand for yourself. Stand up to yourself. It's okay. Ring-a-ding-ding. It's okay to take that stand in yourself. It's okay to face yourself. It's okay to go, wow, I'm not really in the space that I wanted to be at this time of year, or how I'd normally be by now, or at this age bracket. I'm really not feeling how I thought I would be, or now that I've gotten older, I kind of thought things would be a little different than what they are, or what have you. Don't worry about it. Take a stand, and sometimes it's just to yourself. Again, this particular card back here where those women aren't facing each other, that's, to me, that's what's going on right now. And the next card is falseness. Wow. Now, guys, this has come out twice, right? Now, if this is in relation to an actual relationship for you, there's your answer. There is some falseness going on, and there is a soulmate connection here. Spirit is saying to me that this is more so about you personally, regardless of your soulmate, regardless of your husband, your wife, your lover, your non-lover, your bloody platonic relationships, whatever's going on in your immediate world, you're the only one that gets yourself up out of bed every day. You're the one who brushes your teeth. Even though it might be robotic or mechanical, you're the one who actually lives your life. So you need to take some responsibility in what does or doesn't usher in, particularly with this time. It's a wicked hell mad savage moon. It's a really good time to make that stand, right? Energy. Woo, I got high energy. Right. So this little deck here is one of mine. And I've sold a few, actually. There's a few floating around the country. My country, anyway. So I'll just give them a quick another shuffle. Can I have a couple of these out, please? Whoops. Well, apple just come out again. Can I get one more? Thanks. Okay, so basically these are little omens, right? So, apple. Death, sexuality, and luxury. Drums. Heart, therapy, vibration. And spoon, people, riches, and history. So just give me a minute. Yeah, okay, there's more than one message coming on through here. So basically what Spirit is saying is that somebody is actually really having a change in faith. And I actually mean a spiritual / and or religious faith. Somebody is really uncomfortable about taking these steps forward because of the ultimate fear of how they're going to be treated or not treated or mistreated when they actually come out with their thoughts and ideas and their personal beliefs and experiences as to what led you to why you've chosen to go this spiritual or religious specific path. The other card did say, take a stand. You're the only one who can love you the way that you need to be loved, right? So it says death, sexuality, and luxury. Again, this could be about your sexuality, okay? This could be for somebody that has just had a child, an adult child, or somebody in their life come out, and there's a big uproar in their immediate family and things because of that, because it's not the way it should be, or they don't agree with that stuff because of religion or spiritual factors, right? As we know in the Bible, the apple is quite biblical and it has multiple different meanings. Apple is also a sign of luxury, and you do know that, you know, the saying goes, you know, if you give your teacher an apple a day, rah, rah. So basically, that particular card tied in with the drum, which is about the heart, which is your own heart, your inner drum, your inner temple, which is called that come out, and your heart therapy. You need to work on raising your vibration, and you definitely need to be doing something with your heart chakra. Please get that in line. I'm also getting told the solar plexus and the sacral chakra need a bit of work on as well at the moment to help with that heart space, right? But you might see apples, you might see signs of apples. I mean, you might have an apple phone, and that's not uncommon, but I mean, you might crave apples, you might want an apple juice, you might just apple, it might just pop up everywhere, and that is your omen about what's going on in that particular situation. As with drums, you might hear drums, you might be listening to some music and you think, oh, that's a cool drum beat or whatever, like whatever that synchronicity is for you, whatever drums mean to you. It could be ceremonial, it could be traditional, right? It could be ritual. And then with the spoon, it says people, riches, and history. Now, the saying about the silver spoon, right? People being born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Now, Spirit is saying in particular with this actual card about taking a stand, it really is important that when you take a stand, you don't take a stand with an outlook of resentment. Wow, thank you very much, Spirit. Resentment, because some people are born into certain situations that are out of their control, and people are conditioned and products of their actual environment, right? But it says spoon, so people, riches, and history. You've obviously got some stuff going on around you, or if you're inquiring about somebody, and it mightn't be anything to do other than how you feel like you're fitting in your own bloody shoes at the moment. Literally, your spiritual shoes, your spiritual outlook, whatever you've got going on. You could be questioning your faith in life to do with things in general. Don't worry about it. Again, there's riches, there's history, and there's people. So what Spirit is saying is, we'll take your messages from that. And that's why there's 3 messages on each card, because you can switch it and swap it to however it suits you or the people that you're inquiring about, right? There is a bit of a history here, though. And history does need to be changed right now, Spirit's saying. Can I just have, I've actually channeled some messages from Grandmother Moon. Thank you, Grandmother Moon. So I'm just going to give these quick shuffle. Can I have messages, please, Grandmother Moon? Yeah, cool. Energy's popping. Whoops. She's saying there's a lot of people going to be pregnant in the next couple of months, or a lot of babies going to be born in the next couple of months. And Grandmother Moon is saying that that's really auspicious and really special. And for anybody that does have a traditional background to do with this type of way of life, please really look into the right blessings, I'm getting told. Male, masculine. This is about your masculine energy. So a lot of women are on this card, but there is 2 men there and a little boy. Masculinity. Maybe your yin and yang is out of balance. Bring in your masculinity and work on your masculine element, right? Feather. Beautiful. Now, feather has a different, more than one meaning in this particular little deck that I've made. And what this feather here could mean is, one, you need to actually have a cleanse with a proper smudge with a feather helper. You actually need to be smudged and cleansed properly. Feather could also mean that you've got messages from the spirit realm. This is a confirmation, typically like, oh, look, I've just found a feather. There's your feather. And that is a message from spirit that the angels and your ancestors and stuff are with you. And we've also got healing. So yeah, what you need to do is literally spend this time to usher in your restlessness. Turn it into something productive. Use it to prepare things for the hunger that you have for movement and change. You are probably feeling quite restless right now. And it's so weird for me doing readings as a collective for collectives. You guys probably hear me say this quite often, but it's odd for me because I usually just do the one-on-one readings for people in person or over the phone or what have you. And I'm so attention to detail. The pinpoint accuracy is off the chart, and that's just over 20 years of doing this, and I know what my feedback is. But at the same time, these messages will hold meaning for everybody, and I love that. And I just want to say thank you, Spirit, for that. I'm just going to have a drink. Yeah, a lot of healing going on and around us at the moment. Now, last few cards. These are like Scrabble cards. It's like a card game, but for Scrabble. But I bought them so I could use them as like letters of the alphabet. So can I just have a couple of these, guys? Thanks. First card is RF or F. There's an R on there as well. Can I have one or two more? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, a bit too many, but we'll just go with that. Got to keep eye on the clock. B and an F. S and an O. Oops. And last one, T and an F. A lot of F's coming up, right? There's a lot of F's in there. So if that means anything to you, yippee-ki-yay, I'm happy for you. But yeah, honestly, this moon is just beautiful. It's literally about spending the time to plant your seeds for your growth for long-term prosperity. It's about the re-emergence coming out of the darkness, right? So I'm really happy for you. Blessed be. Blessed are the witches. Amethyst. Just going to move this out of the way. Clear up a bit of energy. Pile 2. Let's get popping. Let's crack it out. As I said with the other pile, guys, I'm actually going to be going from the back. So, first card says, balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Right, cool. I'm a Pisces. Happy birthday to all the Pisces crew out there. So, basically, what Spirit is saying is, obviously, you need to have that balance with spirituality and practicality. Now, I'm getting a really clear message for a couple of you, just a real few of you. But what Spirit is saying is that stop being unrealistic, please, with your approach for wanting answers and assuming that you're going to get synchronicities because you want them. Wow. Far out. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I've got more than one spirit team. I work with multiple different teams with different things. I have a medical team as well, etc. But wow, guys, that was pretty brazen, because my team, that's me. I'm abrupt. I fucking swear, and I'm the way I am. But you know, yeah, wow. Okay, so I'll say that again. If you're actually putting so much emphasis on, I'm going to have a result because I want that result, stop trying to look and pick apart things for results and answers to things that you're making the answers to appear from, okay? Really stop striving to do that, because you're actually blocking the growth to whatever it is you've got going on or whatever it is that you're seeking. Okay, thank you. I've just had a door shut behind me spiritually. So what Spirit's saying is that part of that reading's over now, and I can continue on for the collective. Right, so basically, for the rest of the people that message wasn't for, basically it's about nurturing your shadow element. And this come up in the other card. There's 2 fish on here, right? And it's, look, you're going around in a circle. Basically, just make up your fucking mind. Balance your spirituality and your practicality. Maybe you're a bit too airy at the moment. Maybe you need to go on earth. You probably do need to go on earth. At least one of the messages to do with this particular moon about earthing and grounding and having some time outside. I think maybe if you could eat a bit of different food at the moment, that would really help as well. Because what Spirit is saying is that you're just so wishy-washy and lost, and there could be a lot of emotion, and I did say that in pile 1 as well. You might as well watch both piles. You know, there's a lot of emotion going on. Could be a fair few tears, and just frustrated and flustered and just not knowing why you feel the way you feel, but you've just had enough and you're just seeking things that you can't seem to reach at the moment. And this is what Spirit's saying. Balance your spirituality and your practicality. Don't try and usher in or work on both at the same time, thinking if I do a bit of this will even out this balance of scales. It won't. You just need to wholeheartedly come from that place of authenticity, and focusing and practicing on one will actually help the other one fall into place and realign, okay? There's blue on this card in particular, and Spirit is saying communicate. You need to communicate. You need to get your words out, even if it's just communicating to yourself, right? Next card says Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's beautiful. Okay. So there are actual lions in this card. So you could be a Leo, you could be dealing with a Leo, or you might have nothing to do with the lions. They're just on the card, right? But what Spirit is saying is, regardless of your gender, obviously, guys, but what Spirit's saying is that you are the actual captain of your own ship. And I do say that a fair bit through my readings. You are the one that's in charge of your vessel. You are the king, the queen, the priestess, what have you, of your own life and your own situations. Just because you think things that others don't think, it doesn't mean that you're not raising at a high vibration and aware you should be. I have learnt the hard way in my life, because I've got to the point now, I don't know if it's my age, I'll be 40 in a few weeks. That sounds fucking horrible to say it out loud, but I'm excited. Energy, escaping energy, excuse me. So basically, like, I'm at that point in my life where I really felt like for a long time I had to tiptoe around others because I am a witch and I do practice witchcraft, and I do actually do real life magic, and I do love my voodoo and my hoodoo and all sorts of stuff like that, right? And I felt like there were certain areas of my life that I couldn't have those thresholds, that boundary, as the first card said, with the spirituality and the practicality. I felt like I couldn't have that crossover, and I actually got to the point where it was wearing me down. So what Spirit's saying is that you have every right to do what you need to do. You have every right to have your thoughts and opinions, and just fucking march forward, because at the moment you are in your element and you are the priestess of what you've got going on. Oh wow, next card, warrior woman. See, have you answered your deepest calling? Right. Spirit is saying tick, 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 tick. The clock is ticking. I can literally hear tick, tick, tick in the spirit area behind me. Okay, now there is a sword here and she's got one eye peeping out, but that she's not hiding. She's assessing the situation. She's wondering when's the best time to strike, when the iron is hot, as the saying goes, right? Have you answered your deepest callings? This card seems to be, this pile seems to be a little bit more advanced with their growth from this new big portals and everything that happened, the big energetic shift. Pile 2 seems to be a little bit more advanced when it comes to their self-assurance and how they're feeling about their next steps, because sometimes it's not so much about what your next steps is, it's about actually knowing that you've got steps to take, right? So you warrior woman, whoever you are, genderless, have you answered your deepest calling? What is it that you're longing for? Why are you feeling so restless? It's normal. It's a part of this moon. It's all part of the journey, guys, to be feeling restless right now, right? But you've got your sword and you can swing that motherfucker whenever you want, right? Next card says rejection. Wow. Now, see this? Didn't I say just a few minutes ago, like I struggled for a long time with trying to incorporate and have that balance between my spiritual life and my everyday world, even though my spiritual life is my everyday world. It's my way of life, not a lifestyle. But growing through that and having a family, having a young family, and having to fit in with all this sorts of stuff, right? And it was very difficult for me. So you might be feeling that they're in a space of rejection right now, but don't worry, because this mofo is going to paint a better picture, right? He's got his paint pots in his hand and he's thinking about this. He's going, right, out of pain there is still love, or out of a heartache there is still something wonderful going to blossom from this. And that's what this moon is about. It's the re-emergence. So take any form of rejection that you've experienced at the moment, or you're going through at the moment, or you're worried about going through at the moment, and use it to turn it into something powerful and creative. Use it to prepare. Use it to use that to propel that hunger for movement and change, right? Wow. Completion. Okay, so there's a woman on this card. She's obviously at a grave site and she's mourning, and there's people behind her and she's reminiscing, etc. But I'm sorry. Wow, this is not actually about necessarily a death in real life, a death in the flesh, or it might be for you. You might be going through a memory. You might be having an anniversary come up for something like that. Either way, there is a level of completion here, and I actually think it's a completion of a section of your journey. Let it go, right? Balance your spirituality and your practicality. You can't be all woeful or unsure or sad or what have you about things that are out of your control, but you can show respect and honor to those things and still be sad. No, there's no reason why people should not be sad or be sorrowful. But again, are you standing in the way of that growth? Are you inhibiting what you need to do to move forward? Just make a choice and come to that phase of completion, because it's actually already been that phase of completion. Now you just need to accept it. Next card says it's Lord. So the other card was High Priestess, and now the Lord's come out, and basically what that's saying to me is that it has a really good balance of the femininity and the masculinity here. There's a really nice balance coming on here to do with what you've been working on in yourself. And if you can't see the results yet, again, this moon is actually about the re-emergence, right? About lighting one's fire to allow your inner growth and your advancement with your Holy Trinity, your soul, your mind, and your body, okay? There's been some really good flushes and detoxes and removal of layers, and it's so nice to see. Now, this card says making decisions. Yeah, make a choice now. What is it that you need to act on and step forward in your life? Because if you don't make those choices, they'll get made for you in a roundabout way, in a way that you really don't want them to be made for you. So don't worry about what others think. Don't worry about rejection or the rejection you've been for, because that rejection is a seed that's been planted deep into the earth and nurtured. It's harvesting now, right? It's in bloom. It's coming. La la. I, honest to God, true shit, no fucking shit. I did not know what that card was. Okay, so achievement and success. Well, there you go. That's what you're going to be stepping into, right? Yeehaw. So these little cards here. Oh shit, they've just flipped everywhere. Guys, calm down. 3 fell out and 3 from the other pile. Okay, so I have actually made these cards myself, and I've sold a few. There's a few floating around the country, my country, anyway. And they're like little omens. And basically, let's see what they say. So we've got mirror, which is light, truth, and depth. There's your femininity and your masculinity. There's your yin yang. There's your shadow element and your light. There's your duality, right? There's depth. You've got the depth there. Balance your spirituality and balance your practicality, right? And then there's the arc, which is ceremonies, decisions, and gateway. Now picture a beautiful stone arc somewhere, anywhere, right? And it's about taking that step. It's about having that foundation and that structure to be able to step through that door, to be able to step through that gateway. It's about the decisions. Now, the other one said making decisions, right? And the ceremonies. So whatever a ceremony could mean to you at this time, you'll understand what that is. A ceremony could literally just be you going out on the grass, sipping some tea and just humming along and going, I'm free, I'm free, I'm free. I've released, I've released, I've released. Thank you, Spirit. You know what I mean? That could be your little ceremony. And then we've got boat. And boat is about trust, journey, and higher self, okay? And they're little omens, right? These are omens. So you might see these things: mirror, arc, boat. If you see them, these are reminders. These reminders of what you've got going on here right now. So you need to trust your journey and get in tune and tap into your higher self, because your energy is quite nice surrounding this. You just need to not worry about others, and don't be so sad. There is a bit of sadness here with this pile. There is a bit of sorrow going on. That's okay. I love you. So these cards here are channeled messages from Grandmother Moon that I have done with her. Whoops. One's come out. Okay, can I just have one more? Thank you. Now, this is so interesting. I'm not even joking. The card fell out on the floor and it says female, right? Now, I really think you guys need to watch pile 1 as well, please, because one of the cards, the first card that came out for them was the male card. How ridiculous. This card's got, this pile's got a few more than the other though. Female, united. I did say we're in balance here, people. Grandmother Moon. Thank you, Grandmother Moon. She's made an appearance. So what she's saying is embrace the cold, embrace the darkness before the light, because this is how seeds grow. She's saying if you could look over the land and see how she does down in the evening when she's looking down at all the cornfields and all the animals grazing and sleeping and all the things that they're doing, you would see how wonderful life is. You would see how abundant the earth is. Gaia has made us as people and as a species and as a planet, right? And she's saying you really need to give thanks. And the other card was ceremonies. Hair. Wow. So traditionally, hair is about memory, okay? Hair holds memory. Hair is about tradition. Hair is about, stories and journeys and strength and things like that, right? So Grandmother Moon, this card has come out today because what Grandmother Moon is saying is that either one, you're going to go do something to your hair, and if you are considering doing that, she said now's the perfect time to do it, around the next 2 or 3 days, particularly with this moon. But at the same time, if you're thinking about growing out your hair and you're not having it cut, you're not having it colored, or you're thinking, you know what, stuff it, I'm not actually going to color my hair anymore, I'm going to just let it go gray or strip all the color out, she's saying now's the time to do it, and that the moon will shine down on you. And won't be surprised if you've got to get a couple of extra silver hair coming through right now, right? Wow, the last one is Grandfather Sun. Oh my gosh, thank you, Grandfather Sun. Thank you for making an appearance. Thank you for coming into this reading. Yay! This is another confirmation for masculine and the feminine. And I don't necessarily mean twin flame stuff. Listen, I'm not even, don't even fucking start me on twin flame stuff, right? Okay, so seriously, this is another confirmation that you are in balance. Your feminine and your masculine are in balance together, and you guys are about to break through the barrier, okay? You've come so far. Remember, this moon is about lighting one's own inner fire to allow that growth, okay? And it's the small, consistent steps or changes to ushering the long-term prosperity. And there's a massive shift in energy, and it's new breath in, old breath out, okay? And it's time to earth. You might be feeling restless, but it's time to go and earth. You need some time outside to the best of your ability, right? Yay! So that is the reading, guys. Please like, share, subby, flick me a bloody message. If you're on my YouTube, say g'day, whatever. Love you guys. I'm literally going to sign off and go to bed. So much love. Blessed be. Amethyst.